I have been told two things. One, to meet at the top of this multi-storey car park in Birmingham, and that the cars I'm meeting here, it's the first time they've been in the UK. And also, they're the only two examples in the UK, so I can't bash them. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, beauty. These are a couple of purposeful looking vehicles, and do you know what? It's always a good day when you're driving a car with that Constellation badge on the front. In my opinion, one of the best badges in the car industry. The question is, which one do we take first? The brand new Uncharted or the E-Outback? Do you know what? I know this thing is rapid, it's lifted, it's all-wheel drive. Let's have a go in the E-Outback first. I know there's some cracking roads just over that way. We're out of the multi-storey car park, and the aim for today is for me to give my genuine impressions of these brand new Subarus. That badge in front of me is about as iconic as it gets. Subaru is so embedded in UK car culture, and I think it's a lot down to how their cars perform on UK roads. Doesn't matter how much weather or how rough a road you throw at a Subaru, it's gonna get you from A to B, and probably quite briskly too. In my opinion, a Subaru should be fast, but also feel really solid and safe on the road, and still comfortable. And this E-Outback ticks all of those boxes. It does go about it a very different way. To die-hard Subaru fans, it will seem a bit odd that this thing is electric. This first bit of the drive is on the M6 toll road, which is one of the quietest and smoothest bits of motorway in the whole country, and the Subaru is simply gliding over it. Even changing lanes, crossing some cat's eyes, you barely feel them. This is an incredibly smooth road trip car if you wanted it for that, but hopefully down the road here we'll get to some twisties, see what it can do. We've made it onto what I would call a Subaru road. Tree-lined, tight and twisties. I've said a Subaru should be brisk, and this Outback is the fastest road car Subaru has ever made. Not to 62 miles an hour in 4.5 seconds. So, race. Yep. That genuinely gets you in the kidneys. 4.5 seconds. Back when I was a kid, that was genuinely supercar quick. There were top-level Ferraris that were about that figure. Absolutely nuts. And a family Subaru estate car. There's not many other EVs I've driven that have as much feel in their steering as this. But when you turn this car in, that genuinely feels pretty damn great. The Outback is famous for having that bit more ground clearance, so you can send this car at some fairly decent scenery and it will be completely fine. A lot of new electric cars can feel like appliances, like fridges with four wheels, but somehow the clever clogs at Subaru have managed to engineer some proper Outback DNA into this EV. Proper piece of kit, this thing. It manages that 4.5 seconds using 380 horsepower. That is not a horsepower level to be sniffed at in an Outback. Safe, tough and fun. Safe, well, as I've said from the get-go, the first few meters I drove in this car, I could tell how planted it was, how sure of itself it was, super safe. Fun, well, I've had a whale of a time in the forest throwing it around. Seriously quick, loves to turn in, fantastic steering. Tough, well, Subaru will probably have to invite me back for some off-roading for me to test that one out. Okay, let's switch the Outback into eco mode, get this car back to HQ, and then switch into another UK first, the Subaru Uncharted. I'm straight into the Uncharted, and they're calling it a mini crossover. You know what? It feels like a little Subaru hot hatch. It feels so nimble and very four square. I've been driving this car for 2 minutes and I immediately want to go into my driving mode. Yep, straight into power. Oh yeah. This is a much smaller, lighter car than the E-Outback, and I would say it feels as quick, if not quicker. This thing is 338 horsepower, so a bit less, and it gets a 0 to 60 in 5 seconds dead. Although I must say, for it here, in power mode, the traction control's going, it feels much quicker. It's got a smaller, lighter car. they should take this thing rallying. Although it's a dry day today, you can feel that all-weather confidence that's been engineered into this car alongside the Outback previously. You can tell it's got so much traction and still will do even on a damp road up in the Scottish Highlands. And the thing is, this is the first Uncharted. Imagine down the line there's an Uncharted STI. I think it would be an absolute riot. Imagine if 0 to 60 was in the 3s. Okay, we've got a clear road. Let's give this a launch. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. That's verging on weapons grade. We like that. The question is, this new breed of Subarus, are they Subaru through and through? I'll have to leave that to you guys. Get a test drive on one of these and decide for yourselves. I especially like this Uncharted. I want another go. Styling wise, the Outback was very traditional Subaru. Quite blocky, very functional. This little Uncharted is a bit of a move away from traditional Subaru. Very stocky, very square, but they've done quite a lot with what is a small car. There's some really nice curves going on. Compared to a lot of the other crossovers kicking about these days, this thing's got some style. I started today wondering whether this new breed of Subarus could hold up to the legendary Scoobies of the past. If this is the start of this new electric future for the brand, I'm genuinely excited to see where they go next. It has been really cool to be the first member of UK media to drive one of these cars in the UK.